What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Footballers. My name is Tony, and you can follow me down below at Lyman Football. Today's video is going to be the full review on the Nike Alpha Menace Pro 2 mids. First off, these were sent to us by Eastbay. Guys, go ahead. The link down below will be linked through Eastbay if you want to check these out. Thank you to them for sending these out. These cleats did come out last year. However, we're putting out a video on these cleats because we will be getting in the Nike Alpha Menace Pro 3s. Very, very soon. So we want to get a review for this one, you guys, so that way you can compare, especially because these are available on Eastbay still. They could still be a viable option for you, even though they're from last year. Now, first off, you're gonna wanna go ahead, subscribe right now. We put out 2 football related videos every single week. So as we get closer to the football season, we're putting out videos on all the latest and greatest coming from all the big names. So you're gonna wanna go ahead and subscribe to watch those videos as well. All right, so to start the review, let's start right at the bottom and we're gonna look at the traction plate. Because it came on this cleat first, that's what we call it. We call it the Nike Alpha traction plate or the Menace traction plate. It doesn't really have a name, but this is my favorite Nike traction plate to date. A couple things that I really like about this is gonna be, number one, we have a bunch of really thick, nice triangular studs on the front here. The triangular ones are really good for gripping into the ground. Number two, you have a bunch of small ones in the middle. Those are really good as well. You have a couple on the perimeter, which is really nice. 5 on the back, which is good. It just looks sick. Like when you look at the white pattern in here, you see everything that goes into this. Like, how good does that look? It looks insane. Now with this traction plate, it's a really good like all-purpose traction plate. That's why they use it on the Nike Alpha Menace, the 4 Savage Pros, and the 4 Savage Elite TDs. And that's because it's really good for linemen, it's really good for linebackers. As far as comfort goes with these cleats, they're actually pretty good. They are a little bit weird if you have like flat feet. You really notice like a high arch support coming through this area here. So if you do have flat feet, you will notice a lot of arch support, which can be actually really nice to have. But overall, it does feel like your foot's kind of encased in this nice, thick foam, and it just feels like a really nice sleeve that goes around your foot. Now, they did try and make it look like there's a midsole on these, but when you really take everything out, there's no midsole. So all you really have inside is just gonna be like a standard Nike insole here. But aside from that, like there's no actual midsole in here, so I think they kind of just tried to make it look like it's a little bit more premium than it is in those regards. Going all the way around the cleat, it is like this one-piece rubberized TPU type material, which will be really good for durability if there are people stepping on your feet. However, a couple drawbacks of it is there's no breathability on this part here, and it's also decently thin. Now that thinness means that when someone steps on your foot, you are going to feel it, so you need to watch out for that. The back is also interesting, right? You'd kind of assume that they would just take this same material and wrap it all the way around, kind of like they had with the Nike Field Generals. But they added it like where it is this foam all the way around, which actually is like a really nice soft memory foam that wraps all the way around your foot, and it feels really good to wear, honestly. The one thing I did notice with these though is that they kind of scoop a little too far out for my foot. So I'd kind of like to see this piece maybe pulled back just slightly. You can see how there's this really intense pull here. I'd kind of like to see this maybe go a little bit more straight up in the future. I think they did this on purpose though. And the reason I say that is if you just strictly do up the laces on this cleat, your foot does feel kind of like it's floating a little bit. But what I actually did is I kind of pressed my heel and stuff against the back here. And then once you add this strap over top, it locks your foot in more like this, and it actually does feel really comfortable. So I think the heel cup is a little bit different, but at the same time, by adding the strap on the front, it does feel like there was some purpose to it. Now they do retail for $100 right now. You might find them on a discount depending on the site you're looking at, but right now you should expect to pay about around $100, and they don't really have a lot of colors available. It's just the white and the all black. I would like to see more. Talking to the weight of these cleats, they are a pretty standard weight for like a mid-tier, mid-level cleat. These are gonna be around the 14 to 15 ounce mark, which is pretty standard for most cleats of this style. Lineman cleats get heavier into like the 18 ounces, and receiver cleats get down to like the 9 to 11 ounces. So it's gonna be somewhere in that range. As far as overall ankle support with these cleats, you have a decent amount, but not a crazy amount. One thing that contributes to a lack of ankle support is actually going to be this cutout here. So it gives you a little bit more mobility, which is what you need as an all-purpose cleat. But as a lineman, you might like to see a little bit more ankle support, but Nike has dedicated models for that as well. Now, what position would I recommend wear this cleat? This is going to be a good mid-tier cleat. So if you're a linebacker, a tight end, a fullback, some DBs might even try and get away with it. I do think there are better options though. Some linemen also will try and get away with this cleat if they want something a little bit lighter than like a Nike Force Savage or an Elite TD2. So I could definitely see some linemen rocking these as well. There you guys go. There's the full review on the Nike Alpha Menace Pro 2 mids. Don't forget to check out the review on the 3s coming very, very soon. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now guys, if you roll with Nike, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button down below. That lets us know where your allegiance lies. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Check you next time.